All right, so what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna get straight to the point. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how I've been dealing with people and some of the BS that I've been putting up with. So first of all, first and foremost, I wanted to say that growing up, it's been a lot of people that I've been dealing with that always use my name for to get over, or my energy. And it's hard for them to let go, you know, of me. And I learned that it's just the type of person, the type of energy I have, but um what people fail to realize is that, you know, they can't take my kindness for weakness, and that's what I've been battling, especially over the years. But like, I'll be 41 this month. Well, not this month, but next month. And I done learned some things when it comes to you know dealing with people the right way. One of those things I learned is no is always a easy way out. You know what I mean? And when I say that, I mean you what I learned is you don't have to always be a yes man to people, because therefore it makes you easily accessible and makes people gives people the wrong impression, to where they think they could do any old thing to you. So when I say use no, it's just simple as that. Anytime somebody want to use me for something, whether it be business, personal, associationship, um, what have you, I've said no numerous times. They'll get an attitude. They'll start dealing with me for, a couple months to a year. And then they'll try to come back and they'll be like, oh yeah, well, hey, we go, try to do this again to you or something like that. Whether it be using me for business or to help up their business, or, personal use. But it's not easy saying no, obviously. Like, well, it hasn't been easy saying no because, truthfully, I've been in that whole thing of I've always wanted to see people in a better position, you know, but I learned that, you know, I can't just take the next thing smoking when it comes to helping people, and, just, I have to leave people where they be. I could tell them, the information, or, whatever it is. And if they don't help themselves, you know, I have to keep on moving. So that's why I learned too. Let's see. Secondly, you know, how I've dealt with like people in business, especially, is everything as far as business is some type of contractual agreement, and the money just can't be any old thing. And so that being said, I remember when I was in my 20s, especially, and I used to just do everything, with people in business, whether it be Amway, whether it be some form of Primerica or some type of pyramid business. Everything is a pyramid scheme, so let's get that straight. But as I got older and mature, it's like I've been having everything in a contractual agreement, and the money can't just be any old thing, But that took, like I said, that took a lot of time too, because then, you got to argue with folks about money, then being, courteous on when it comes to your time and how they value it. Um, and, it's just a lot of stuff that goes into dealing with people in business that people don't understand, when it comes to how you want it, because it's gonna be how they're gonna try to make it how they want it because it's theirs, and I understand that, but you gotta have limits. You gotta have limits on how you do things, with people and business and even personal stuff, because everybody's time is valuable, but especially yours. You got to be stingy with you. And I think a lot of people miss the mark when it comes to being stingy with themselves, when it comes to everything. Because therefore people won't take advantage of you, and then people they'll call you what they want to, you know. But at the end of the day, like, once you find a value in you, you know, the ain't no stopping you, Now notice how I'm saying you, because you matter, and people will try to ostracize you or and make you feel like you are not important, when it comes to business, or how you deal with them and all that stuff. And it's almost along the lines to me of having some self-respect, or them having respect for you too. And so all that stuff go hand in hand, I believe, at some point. So yeah, I've learned that. Another thing is, like, recently, a couple months ago, I rejoined the Amway. All right. This person that we was real cool when I first joined the business some years ago. I'm talking about like in 2014. No, 2013, then 2014. And I dipped out the business in 15. And then I recently called him back to try to build a better report, because I learned some things and some of the stuff that I was doing. And, that takes a lot. But with that being said, like, when I signed up, I initially figured, okay, well, hey, with Amway, you you are supposed to, your mentor is supposed to give you things during the week to read, and keep you on the up and up with like how your upline is and how things are, on the team aspect of, what team, things we're doing, whether it be going out of state to like different like business meetings, or whatever it is. All that's supposed to be properly communicated. Since I've joined Amway, none of that has happened. Now, granted, yeah, I was supposed to get some of the products so I could start, but things in life happen. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like this is the whole old thing of things when I say this. Not only is communication paramount, but it's key. I guess paramount and key is the same thing. I don't know, but if you don't have the right communication with peeps, then what do you have? Like, it breaks off the continuity of your business relationship or personal relationship, or all that stuff, and yeah, we didn't have no type of communication. He didn't let me know anything about the upline or he didn't leave anything for the week for me to do. I could go on and on, but it was bad though. Like, and I didn't say anything because, like, my communication with people is still like a work in progress. But at the end of the day, I've been around the bend when it comes to business, and I know how things are, and how it should be, with just that whole aspect period. When it kind of linking up with people and, talking and all that stuff, So, I made the decision, like, as of today, to remove myself from Amway. I PM'd him and told him, like, hey, look, just remove me from Amway. And he said, done. I mean, which I didn't really want to, but at the end of the day, I had to turn this light on. But at the end of the day, I just had to do what's right for me, because I'm really working to build, I can't say try, I'm working to build my business when it comes to tech. And I've been in the tech field for 15 plus, so therefore, like, there's things that I've learned in business that I'm applying to, my business. And, really just being serious about my brand and, things that should go on and people I want to link up with and all that's important. But I love Amway for what it is. But if I ever join back with the business, and that's a if, not a win, but if I do, like, I would want to be around the right people. But my stuff is more important than other people's, like, businesses and stuff like that, and that's a stingy me saying that, but I feel like it's some truth to that, But with that being said, I mean, those are just some of the things I've learned when it comes to how I've been dealing with people in business, and how I've learned to pivot, if you will, when it comes to dealing with people. And you got to have that whole business sense, when it comes to things. So it took a lot, though. It really took a lot, but yeah, man, I hope everybody, learns something from this video. This is Mr. Truth Serum himself. Subscribe to the channel, or, follow, because I'm putting this on multiple platforms. But I feel like this needed to be talked about, and yeah, it's a long video, but like I said, this needed to be talked about because this is one of them things that's real important to me. And, it's been a long time coming for me to talk about these type of things and, just get it out. And I feel like this is like a video diary of some sort, but a learning video diary. So just take some things and learn from me, and, don't make some of the same mistakes I did, which, I hope that I was a little bit more, being, like, explaining stuff that I've been doing within the business. But with that being said, I love y'all. Take care. I'm out of here. I'll talk to y'all soon. And yeah, peace.